Hi, and welcome to BFIN205S Personal Finance Fall of 2023. My name is Lisa Swallow, and I'm really excited to have you all here. I am a CPA, and I run the accounting tech program at Missoula College. I've been teaching this class for, I believe, 5 or 6 years, and I really love it because it's super different from accounting. Because it's very personalized. This class is about helping you identify your relationship with money, your attitudes towards money, help you make a budget, help you track your spending for a month, doing a spending journal, and then establish financial goals, and then understand some of the technical concepts around finance. Personal finance, such as credit and investing and taxes and things like that. So my hope is that this will be a really applicable and just takeaway sort of class where you've got skills that you can apply to your real life. So what I want to do today is go through the Moodle shell so that you can see how the class is lined out, and then take a peek at the syllabus. So let's go take a look at the Moodle shell first. So you can see you're actually in the Start Your Online class here right now. There's 12 chapters, and they're all basically lined out the same. The first unit isn't lined out the same because that's our intro, but all the rest of them are. So this unit that you're in right now, this class is engaging. We do a lot of work together. So I don't just post videos where I lecture at you. I also do a lot of working with you called lab chats. So we will engage and work together, documenting your spending habits, creating a financial plan, budgeting, etc. So those are mostly in this format called lab chats. Right here, lab chats. So your materials, you need to have one ebook or hard copy book. In this course, it's an inclusive access course, which means the cost of the textbook will post on your registration and tuition, your tuition and fees statement, so that you've got access to the book straight away. And I tell you, to get that, you just go to red shelf below, and that's all the way at the bottom of the intro page. You click on this, and you should see your book there. If you don't, we will work with Caleb Rabine to solve that. You would actually probably just go ahead and email him directly if you have any issues with that. So that is the book. You're listening to the video right now, and we're going to take a peek at the syllabus together. So that is basically the first, the Start Your Online class here. So I just want to briefly go over one of the chapters. They all are going to look the same. They've got tasks, outcomes, and overview, and all the resources that you use, and then where you submit your assignments. So for example, and also to point out, they begin on different days of the week, depending upon if it's an exam week or whatever, or how long the chapter is. So for the first chapter, it begins on August 28th. The second one starts on a Thursday. And then that goes, you can see, all the way from September 7th to October 2nd. So they vary in length, and some are like really super short, like chapter 4 is like 3 days. So just be aware that it's not a super repetitive cycle. Assignments are usually due on, well, we'll look at that in the syllabus. Okay, so all the units look the same. There's an overview in this unit, understanding financial planning. I give you some questions we're going to answer. I give you the tasks, and the longer chapters have more tasks, obviously, with due dates for anything that you need to actually submit to me. I will tell you that it's really important that you establish at least 2 1.5-hour chunks of time per week to work on this class. There's no way, for example, like, oh my gosh, I've got something due on the 1st. So here I am at noon on the 1st, it's due at 11 p.m. I'm going to read this, watch the videos, do the assignment. It's not a class like that. It's a class where you're going to do some reading, you're going to do a lab chat with me, you're going to watch one of my lectures, you're going to practice a little bit, and then you're going to do your homework. So it's not a, open it up for the first time 2 hours before it's due. So I really encourage you in your day timer to just establish those 2 to 3 1.5 hour chunks of time to really dig into it, because there's some real meat in some of these topics. So anyways, you're going to read, you're going to watch some lectures, you're going to do 3 assignments, and one of those also has a little instructional video on how to do the assignment. And there's a link to the attitudes quiz reflections that I want you to do. Here are your outcomes, but I hope you can do at the end of the unit. And then here's the resources. So the first couple chapters I've actually scanned and PDF the textbook just in case you need it. For whatever reason, if we're struggling getting the textbook, I want us to all be able to start on the 28th. The PowerPoint slides from that chapter may or may not need those. I use those in the lecture. And then worksheet 1.1 used to go with financial planning exercise. You can see that I'm asking you to do a piece of homework. Use worksheet 1.1 found under resources. So whenever I say that, you would just come down to resources and it will be here. And then I've got a couple short videos. And as I said, there's an attitudes towards money little quiz that you take. It's kind of a fun exercise. Here's my instructions on what I expect for you to do for that little 5-point assignment. And then here are my 2 content lectures on this chapter. And then here is where you submit the assignments, and the due dates, the 1st of September, the 6th of September, the 6th of September. Those, of course, correspond directly with these dates up here. So that's how the units are laid out. We quiz every, let's see, what is that, third chapter. So chapters 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 4, 6, 7. We don't do chapter 5, etc. And then the final in the class is a paper. So the other thing I really want to emphasize is that because this is asynchronous, we don't ever meet like in person. Obviously, it's an online class, or even together as a group online, that it's really, I really encourage you to reach out to me and ask if you need any additional help, like, hey, can we just set up a quick Zoom to go through this homework or to look at this problem, or I don't understand this concept. And like, I really thrive on that. And I encourage you to do that. If you have some friends that you study with and you guys, 2 or 3 of you want to, engage at the same time, absolutely, that's what I'm here for, and that's what I like. So please let me know about that. Okay, let's take a quick peek now at the syllabus. So here's Department of Business and Tech at Missoula College. It's a 3-credit class. We do about 1 hour of lab chat a week and a couple hours of lecture. There's no prerequisite, but you definitely need to know how to write at least like a basic formula in Excel. And here's my name, phone number. I'm on the River campus in room 408. I'm there physically on Mondays and Wednesdays from 2 to 3. And then I will do any sort of virtual outreach or engagement that you need in one-to-one. So here's your course description. Here are all the topics we're going to be looking at. And the 2 big goals of the course is to help you with your own personal finances and to make a plan and to help you learn how to manage your personal finances. And then the second is to help you understand some of the more technical concepts in finance, like time value of money and rate of return and things like that. Here's your performance outcomes, all the things that you should be able to do. We're going to spend 3 chapters looking at insurance, life insurance, health insurance, and property insurance. Your required course materials, I've already talked about accessing this through the Inclusive Access Program at Red Shelf. And then you need a calculator, and you do not need a fancy financial calculator, just regular old calculator. Everything around the University of Montana ethics and expectations can be found at the Student Conduct Code link. And here is your DSS Disabled Student Services link. Please use that and get engaged with that office if you have any accommodation needs. And of course, I will be willing to do that. We know that 1 in 10 of our students has got some sort of food or housing issues. Please know that there are resources at the university that can help you if that is something that you need some additional support with. We also have an early, EAB, early alert system that helps us identify students as advisors or professors that are struggling, like missing assignments or not showing up for class or failing exams. And so we try and create a team and help understand what your needs are. So just be aware that you may be getting things to your email that have been generated by a professor or an advisor that are concerned. Obviously, when you're engaging online, there's a series of expectations that you conduct yourself professionally. If you have any problems with Moodle or need any support, here's all the information on that. I do not do technical support. Your homework is due most Wednesdays and Fridays at 11 p.m. Again, this is a way of keeping you engaged multiple times per week. It's not okay to just pick up and try and do a whole bunch of work in one day. You will not learn the concepts that way. So, but on exam weeks, you may only have homework due once. So it's totally up to you every unit to look at those tasks and see what the due dates are. And then evaluations, we have 3 exams at 100 points each, a final paper at 50. Our guest speakers are around the insurance topics for 45 points. You'll be watching videos and commenting on those. And then you have almost 200 points of regular homework. So there's really a lot going on in this class. I really encourage you to stay in touch with me. Again, if you need any additional help, that's what I'm here for. Thank you very much. And I hope you really enjoy the class. I'm happy to have you here. Bye.